Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn how to cut basic skirts. Yes, it's very simple and easy. It doesn't take time at all, and so within some few minutes we will finish. Okay, so if you are watching me and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing, like and share this video. Okay, so let's get started. And so I have this here, and this is folded into two. This is one. This is for the back and this is for the front. Okay, so you determine this by your larger part of your body, that is the hip. Yes, so the hip divided by 4 plus at least 2 inches. The hip divided by 4 plus at least 2 inches is okay. And so what I have here is 12.5 or almost 13, and so the hip is 40 divided by 4 is going to be 10, then plus 2 1 2, so I have more than 2 inches, almost 3 inches, which is okay. And then when you finish, you come to the back. The back is the same measurement. The difference is that you are going to add zip allowance. You can add between 1 to 2 inches. So I have 1.5. This is it. Then you determine your skirt length from your waist to where you want the skirt length to be. And if you are going to add band to the skirt, then you have to deduct the band inches from the length of the skirt. So if your skirt length is 25, then you are going to deduct the band length. Maybe the band you are going to use is 2 inches. Then you deduct 2 inches from 25, and that's going to be 23. And so if you deduct and you have 23, now the 23 you have to add 1 to 8 to make it 24 for sewing allowance. And you add 1 if you know you are going to line the skirts. If you know you are going to add lining to the skirt, then you have to add 1. And so the band will take ½ inch on the upper part, and then the lining will also take ½ inch at the down. Do you get it? But if you know you are not going to add lining to your skirt, then make sure you add at least 2 inches allowance to it. 2 inches allowance. And so with your 25 length, if you deduct 2 inches from it, it's going to be 23. So the deduction of 2 inches is for your band. Do you get it? So you have 23, and then 23 you add 2 inches, so you arrive at your 25 again. Now when you add 2 inches to it, making 25, ½ inch will be for the band. The band will take ½ inch when you join it to the waist. Do you get it? So you will be left with 1.5, and then the 1.5 you are going to fold it in. Do you get it? You are going to fold it in. Okay, so if you are not adding band to it, then you don't need to deduct any 2 inches from it, any band measurement from it. You just have to measure your skirt length is 25, so you measure 25, and then if you are adding lining to the skirt length, you add 1 inch to the 25, and then it will be 26. If you are not adding any lining to it, then instead of adding 1 inch, add 3 inches. 3 inches, because you fold the upper parts. You have to fold the upper parts inside and make the ends meet. 1 inch, and then the 2 inches you fold it at the down. Do you get it? Okay, so now that we have established this, let's get started. So when you have it this way, the first thing to do is to place your waist to hip. So this is going to be our waistline. Do you get it? Our waistline. The next thing to do is you place it at the waistline. Then you are going to measure your hip, your waist to hip. Now the waist to hip, the waist to hip, the standard measurement is 9. So 9 inches here. Then you can add half to it, and then make it 9.5. But I usually leave it at 9 without adding any half to it. But let's add half to it. Now if you are adding a band to it, it means you have to deduct that 2 inches band from it. Do you get it? So instead of placing the tape measure here and measuring your 9, you will take the tape measure up this way and place it at 2 inches, because at the end of the day you're going to take 2 inches from it, and then you measure your 9, and your 9 will be here. Do you get it? Okay. And so you get the waist to hip. And so let's measure 9.5. Okay, so this is your waist to hip. So we are going to measure our skirt length, and then the skirt length we are going to use 27. And so we'll place it here, 27 here, and then we'll come here also and measure 27. So this is the skirt length. This is extra allowance. Do you get it? So we have about 3 inches here. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so the next thing to do is to place our dart on it. Now the dart is your nipple to nipple. If you don't know how to measure your dart, I am going to leave a link to how to take basic measurement for women in the description box, so that you can watch and know how to measure your dart. Do you get it? Okay, so the dart you are using is 8 divided by 2 is going to be 4. And so you place it on the hip line here. You measure your 4 inches here. It's 4, but instead of measuring the 4, you add half to 8 and make it 4.5. Do you get it? 4.5. Then you come to the waistline also. You measure 4.5 the same way. And then from the 4.5 at the waistline, you are going to come here half inch and then half inch. So you are measuring 1 inch here from the 4.5, half inch to get your dart. Do you get it? Okay. Then you will join the point. You are going to join this by straight line. Okay. The dart, if it gets to exactly the hip, it doesn't look beautiful. And so avoid drawing your dart to exactly the hip. And so from here, we are going to come up by 2 inches. 2 inches. From the hip point, you will come up by 2 inches. And that's where we are going to join our darts. So like this. And like this. You see? And so this is the darts. Do you get it? And so what you are going to do is you have to trace this on the other side here, trace it here, and also trace it at the back, so that you get everything equal. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to draw this line to indicate that it is a zip line. Okay, so I have pins here. We are going to use these pins to trace it. Just pin this. You pin it. Okay, so let me hold this with pin so that it doesn't shift. And then you come here also, you pin it. So you see it's showing here. You pin this also, the middle one also, and then you pin this side also. You get it? And so after this, you take it, and then you are going to just use your pen at where you pinned those points. And then you are going to have this for the back. Then you come to the other side also. You see then you mark that place also the same. So you have it this way, you see. Okay, and so the next thing is to place your measurements on it. Now if you are doing this on a fabric, when you pin to trace, make sure that when you pin, you don't take it out. You pin it this way, and then you use your chalk or whatever you are using to mark the place before you will take the pin out. Because with fabric, if you take the pin out, you will not see the hole for you to trace it. Okay, so come to the waist. The waist we are using is 26. And so if it's 26, you place this here. 26, you divide it into 4. And that's going to be 6.5. So this is where 6.5 is. And because of the dot you have here, this you will hold it. And so when you hold it, it's going to reduce it by 1 inch. And so you add that 1 inch to 8. And that's going to be 7.5. And then after, you are going to add your extra allowance. You can add from 1 to however large you want your allowance to be. But I'm going to add 2. And so 1, 2. So that's going to be 9.5. 9.5. And that's it. Then you come to the hip line. The hip is 40. 40. And so 40 divided by 2 is going to be 10. And this, you don't need to add any dot allowance to it. Just leave it like that. 10. Then you add your extra allowance. And that's going to be 2 inches. So this is it. And so it's going to be 12 here. You get it? Okay. And so the next thing to do is you come to the down. Now the down here, you can choose to bring the same measurement at the hip line to the down. Do you get it? Or maybe you want it pencil. So if you want it pencil, it means you are going to deduct 2 inches from the hip line and then place it here. And so we are doing pencil. And so when you deduct 2 inches from it, is going to be 10. And so you place 10 here. Okay, so you are going to bring this 10 to this place, yes. Or you can measure how tight you want it to be. Tight you want your pencil to be, then you place that measurement there. Do you get it? So this is it. Hope you are okay. So you are going to join these points. So with my skirt curve, I'm going to join from waist to hip. You can decide to use your ruler, straight ruler, and it will still be okay. Join it this way. And then so I'm going to come here a bit. Okay. And then with my long ruler, I'm going to join from the down here to the hip. So I don't intend to make the hip line pointed, so I'm going to just shape it a bit and make it a bit round. So this is okay. And so this is our skirts, basic skirts. You can make it pencil. If you don't want it pencil, like I said, you bring this one here and you are going to measure the 12 inches the same way, and you are going to join it straight from here. So you have it this way. So either you cut it this way or you cut it this. Do you get it? So this is it for how to measure or draw or draft your basic skirts and also pencil skirts. And so this is it. So I hope as a beginner, this is simple for you to follow. So the next thing is to cut this out. We are going to cut it, and we are cutting it the pencil way. So this is it. So at the end of the day, when you open up this, you are supposed to get two, another one. You are supposed to get two of the back, yes, so that you will pin this line. This is your zip line, so you pin it. Now this is the front one. So when you open it, this is it. You see, this is it. This is your skirt. And so what you have to do is to hold the darts. And so you will hold the darts this way. You will hold the darts. You see. And the back too, you will hold it the same way. You will trace this on the other one that you get. So if you place this on paper, and so if you place this on your fabric, you are going to get two of this, of the fabric, and then you are going to get one of this. Do you get it? So you hold the dart this way, then you add your measurements to it. And so you know we added 2 inches allowance, and so you just place it here and then mark out your 2 inches here. You see, 2 inches here. Come here also, mark your 2 inches, then come to the hip line, mark your 2 inches, then you come to the down, also you mark 2 inches. We'll do the same thing also here. And then join this one also. You join it this way. This is it. So when you place the measurement on it this way, the next thing is after holding the dart of the back one, you will join it to each this way. You join it to it this way. You see, this way, and then you sew on top, and then you join the other one also and then sew on top, and you are done. And then what you are left with is to add your zip to your skirt and then sew on this line to where the zip will end, and then you add your zip and you are done with your skirts, either pencil or straight skirt. So this is it. Thanks so much for watching. If you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing, like and share this video. I will leave a video on how I used fabric to sew pencil skirts and all that, so that you can watch the fabric one also. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.